Hi everyone, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be going over the answers to test 2 of the CELPIP sample reading test. Now, you can find this test on the official CELPIP website. This is the free version. There are 2 tests that are freely available, and you can access the official test. You can even try to answer the questions for yourself and then come back and watch this video. That's actually a really great way to learn. You kind of approach the task, try it in your own way, see what works and what doesn't, and then compare what you did to my explanations and my approach to answering. This is, in my experience, a really great way to learn and really master the techniques that can make a very big difference in the reading test. So let's begin with this part of the test. I'm going to start by going over the techniques that you need. And once I've established the basic techniques, we're going to try to apply those same techniques to this passage that you can see here. Okay, so part 2, as you already know, is called reading to apply a diagram. And we're always given a bunch of options, right? So different options of all falling into the same category, really. Right? So in this case, if you look at the headings, you should get a good idea of what's being compared. As you can see, in this case, we have B and C business cards written on top of this, it seems to be a flyer of some kind, right? So we know it's a flyer for business cards. Now, the first step is to always compare the options that you've been given just to see what is being compared, right? Of course, we know we have different options for business cards here, and I can see that on the screen. But the problem is, what are they being compared based on? What are the criteria? Now, if you can kind of brainstorm in advance to anticipate the kind of information you'll see. For example, price will likely be one of the factors being compared here. But let's see what other factors you will be able to identify. So as you can see here, we have 4 main options. We have the basic, the dynamic, the unique, and the hybrid. Okay, so first step, I just look at the different options that I have. Now, what's being compared? If you look at the bullets, each bullet represents a feature, right? And we want to see what these features are. So, for example, the material, is it glossy or is it a matte finish? This is something that you could see in the options. You can see available in glossy or matte finish. Or for in the case of the dynamic card, it says available in glossy finish only, right? So the material and the finish, really. Also, we can see information on the colors, right? So as you can see, for the hybrid, we have several color themes available, right? For some of the other ones, again, look at the basic. It says several colors available. So we have colors and the schemes that we could use. What else? We have the price, as we expected. So we have $14.99 for 100 cards and $18.99 for 250 cards. You see, now, at this point, we're not really interested in remembering this information. We're probably going to forget, right? Because there are multiple options and different availabilities and what have you. So we're not really interested in documenting or remembering this information. It's all there and we can always refer to it whenever we want. At this point, what's important is that you have an idea as to what is being compared. So if someone were to ask me, what is this test about? I'm going to say this test is on business cards. There are 4 main categories of business cards, and these categories, these cards, are being compared in terms of different things like the finish, the colors, the print, the price. And that's pretty much all I need to know before moving on to the questions. Again, sometimes students jump into the questions. Sometimes they, spend a lot of time looking at the different options and reading every single word. You see, it's always that balance. You need a little bit of information before looking at the questions, but you don't need to waste a lot of time reading things that you're probably going to forget quite easily. Okay? Now, the next step is to look at the passage and let's see what we are dealing with. So once again, we are dealing with an email that has something to do, a letter or an email that has something to do with these options and the images that we can see in the diagram. Now, again, it's always a good idea prior to attempting to answer the questions to get an idea who is writing whom, again, to what end, what is the purpose. This is something we did in the previous section, and we're going to do this again, okay? So as you can see, we have a to, from, and date line. And we know that this email is written by a Natalie Moreau, okay? And as you can see here, the signature also confirms who the sender is. But we don't know who they're writing to. And that's actually question number 1, right? And I'll show you how to find clues and evidence to find the answer. But for now, you see, we're trying to get a general idea of what this email is about. Okay, now question number 1 is asking me to identify the recipient. Now, how am I going to find the answer to this? Am I going to find it by looking at the items on the diagram? No. It's going to be in the email. And if you remember, the place where we find and we can correctly identify the purpose of an email is by looking at that first sentence, right? You want to start with that initial statement that expresses the intention or the purpose, the intent for writing the email. So check it out. The first sentence reads, I happen to be shopping for business cards, so I was happy to see your flyer in my inbox this morning. Now check it out. A flyer, the same flyer we can see in the diagram, was received in an inbox. So who was this from? Most likely from the same folks who, produce and design these and print these business cards. So let's take a look at the options. Again, notice I didn't look at the options right off the bat. That would have been a mistake because you're giving the test designer a chance to trick you by including things that do appear in the flyer, seem reasonable, but they're wrong. And because you don't have the time and the attention, it's a test after all, you don't have all the time in the world to double check or triple check. So it's very easy to be misled. So don't look at the options, not unless you absolutely have to. In this case, we've figured out who the recipient is, and so we're just going to look at the options and identify the correct answer. So let's see. University admissions doesn't sound right. B and C business cards. Yeah, look, the title, B and C business cards. I received your flyer. So whose flyer is this? B and C business cards. Best business cards? Well, that's not the name of the company, is it? It's B and C, so that's out. And Mr. Andrews, supervisor. Well, where did that come from? It's made up. So you see, it could have been right. But based on what we have in the flyer and what we see in this initial sentence, the correct answer is B and C business cards. Okay, now let's keep reading. The first sentence was, I happen to be shopping for business cards, so I was happy to see your flyer in my inbox this morning. Now, the second tip I want to share with you here is always know which of the options is being discussed at any given point. You see, in these response emails with the blanks that you should complete, the writer often goes from discussing one option to discussing another option. And to successfully answer the questions in part 2, you need to know exactly which of the options is being discussed in any given paragraph or any given sentence. Let me show you what I mean. Look at this sentence here. I like the dynamic and unique cards as they both something. So which part of this flyer is being focused on? The dynamic and the unique cards. Okay? Now, it says they both something. So we're going to have to look at dynamic and unique and see what they have in common, right? Because the question says they both something. Again, don't look at the options. If you want to make sure that you're not being tricked by the options and that you're getting the answer right, try to figure it out for yourself and then look at the options and see which one's a good match. So for example, for the dynamic, we have available in glossy finish only. Unique is also available in glossy finish only. So the answer to question number 2 could be glossy finish only, right? What else? B, plenty of room for text. Next one, substantial space for descriptions. Again, same thing. Plenty of room for text, lots of room or substantial space for descriptions. So again, any of these 2 points could be the answer to number 2. Number 3, raised print is the third feature of the dynamic card. And then bullet number 3 for the unique card is no image substitutions for logo. So that's not something they share. We have available in black and blue, strong and lightweight. Again, this is not something that they share. And finally, in terms of price, 500 cards for $29.99 for the dynamic and 250 cards for $19.99 and 500 cards for $24.99 for the unique. Again, these two are not shared. So you see, I can expect what the answer is going to be. The answer is either going to be glossy finish or it's going to have something to do with the space. So let's check out the options. A, allow for substantial descriptive content. Sounds right? Because remember, this is one of the options that specifically was found to have a bullet shared between items 2 and item 3. Are available in raised print. Remember, raised print was mentioned for dynamic, not for unique, so that's not the answer. Are available in matte card. Now look, both say, well, available in glossy finish only, so that can't be right. And then finally, feature several eye-catching colors. Now, several colors. The dynamic card is only in black and blue. So you can see, we can kind of reject the other options and finalize our answer. In this case, number 2, the answer is A, the descriptive content. All right, let's move on. The next sentence says, I appreciate the appeal of the unique card, but I worry that it is so unique as to be distracting. Okay, so now, again, this sentence doesn't have a blank in it. And you might say, oh, I don't really need to pay attention to this. I can even skip it and move on to the next one. Wrong. Never skip anything. Even a sentence that doesn't have a blank can give you clues, right? In this case, I know that the focus is specifically on the unique, right? Now, the next sentence says, well, this sentence mentions something that the writer doesn't like about the unique. So the next sentence is, so I was leaning towards the dynamic card. So now the focus is on dynamic. So I want you to see it like a spotlight, that the writer is flashing this spotlight on different items, and you shouldn't fall behind. You should always know where the writer is pointing at. And also, look at the guide words. And what do I mean by this? Look, it says, so I was leaning towards the dynamic card. Positive, right? Like, I like the dynamic card. But I. Now, what do you expect to see after but when you say, I like this option, but? you're going to say something bad about it, right? You're going to say, oh, well, here's the shortcoming. Here's what I don't like, or here's what's wrong with it, right? But I. Now, let's take a look at the dynamic again, and let's see what could be a reason why the dynamic is not such a great option. So maybe the limitation of colors, only in black and blue. Maybe the fact that it's only available in glossy finish. So the question is a little open-ended, so we can't really guess. We can guess in advance, but we will never know for sure, as with some other questions where without even looking at the options, you can determine what the answer is. Let's take a look at the options and let's see what we have. So the dynamic card, but A, I want a card that is partially black. Well, the dynamic card has black and blue, so it is partially black. That's not the answer. B, want my name to be prominent. Now, here's a little test of vocabulary, really. When we say something is prominent, what does it mean? It means it comes out, it stands out, it catches your eye, right? So prominent, if you know that word, then you know that it means raised, right? So raised print is a synonym for prominent letters, for example. So want my name to be prominent. No, this can't be the answer because the dynamic option offers raised print. Option C, need to order only 100 cards. Could that be a problem? Yes, it can. Look, for the dynamic card, it says you can order 500 cards for $29.99. So if this person, if Natalie, only wants 100 cards, was that going to be possible? No. So that could be a deal breaker. That could be a major problem with the dynamic card, right? So that can't be the answer. And prefer a card with glossy finish. Well, the dynamic card, if you look at bullet number 1, is available in glossy finish only. So the correct answer is going to be option C, need to order only 100 cards because the dynamic is only offered in 500 cards, not less than that. The next sentence is, bottom line is, I'm not too keen on any of the featured templates, and I'm actually looking for A. Okay, so how many templates do we have? We have 4 templates. And Natalie says, I don't like any of these templates. I want to go with another one of the options. Well, we don't have any other options, do we? Yes, we do. Look at what appears on the bottom of the flyer. It says featured templates, which refers to the 4 templates that are made available here. It says featured templates, February sale, 20% off. So there's a 20% discount on the templates that are featured. But at the bottom, it says order online. Click here for order form or by phone. Please, no email orders. Various shipping options available, including next day delivery, right? Order must be placed before 2 p.m. Shipping outside the US is also available, right? So it looks like that you don't have to go with these 4 options. Especially, look at that green sentence at the bottom. It says custom designed cards are available. It means you don't have to go with the templates. You can design your own card. Please speak to one of the designers. So if Natalie says bottom line, what does that mean? It means my final decision, bottom line, is I'm not too keen on any of the feature. I don't like the templates. But then she says, and actually I'm looking for a, well, probably this is something to do with what is the other option if you don't want the templates? You want to go with a custom designed card, as mentioned in that green sentence down at the very bottom. So let's see. I'm looking for a white card, durable card, one-sided card, multicolored card. Now, it seems that custom design, based on what I saw, wasn't the answer. But look, what is Natalie looking for that cannot be found in any of the 4 options? Now, if Natalie is looking for a white card, for example, will she be able to get one? Yeah, look at the hybrid card. You can see it literally in the picture, right? it's white, and then it has this second color, which come in several themes, right? So that can't be it. If Natalie wanted a white card, she could have gone with option 4 or the hybrid card, right? Durable. Now, again, vocabulary. What does it mean when we say something is durable? Does it break very easily, or is it strong and is it long lasting? The correct answer is durability, or durable means that it is strong, right? And it won't break very easily. So does Natalie want to go with something aside from these 4 options because these 4 options aren't durable? Is that it? Well, no. If you look at the basic card, for example, specifically it says heavy stock for durability. So that's out. Option A is durable. If Natalie wanted to go with something durable, she could have gone with option 1. One-sided. Now, that's interesting. Look at the options. See, basic, it's 2-sided. How do I know that? I literally have a picture of the back and the front, right? Same thing with dynamic. Picture of back, picture of front. Unique, picture of back, picture of front. Hybrid, same. So the templates, the 4 templates, do not offer a one-sided card. And so if Natalie wants to go with a one-sided card, she's going to have to choose a custom designed card, right? And multicolored, no, I think, again, you can see that there are numerous colors in some of the options. And again, if you look at the basic option, for instance, I believe it's the 4th bullet, it says several colors available, right? So what does that mean? It means you have a range of colors. So the correct answer is one-sided, right? So she wanted one-sided card. None of the options allowed that. So she is going to go with the other templates, right? So it says, I thought I would check out your other templates, especially since what? Now, the other templates, that's the part at the bottom, right? What features do these other templates have? We already read that. And again, this isn't the kind of question where we could use a keyword and we can kind of predict what the answer is. We're going to have to look at the options. And so, especially since A, you don't offer custom design. Do they not offer custom design? No, it literally, that green sentence at the bottom says custom design cards available. So this one is out. B, you accept orders by email. Is that correct? No. Again, look at that part that's in red or orange. The second sentence says, please, no email orders, right? So that is out. They do not accept email orders. So B is incorrect. C, offer a discount on all orders. Is that true? Look, it says 20% off, true, but it says featured templates. So you only get 20% off if you choose one of the 4 featured templates. So that can't be right. And then you will ship to Canada. Now, if you want to go with the keyword approach, you're going to look for the word Canada. And you're going to see, oh my God, there's nothing there. There's no mention of Canada. But if you look at that last part, again, the part that's in orange, the last sentence says shipping outside of the US is also available. So outside of the US, Canada is outside of the US. So you see, without mentioning Canada in particular, you can make an inference, very easy one, and you can correctly identify the correct answer to number 5 as being option D. You will ship to Canada. Again, a lot of students say, well, that's the last blank, and so I can just move on. Don't do that. Always read, because there are clues that they leave for you. Let's just read it very quick. The last sentence is, however, when I clicked on the link for your website, I landed on the order form. This happened when I manually input your website address as well. Thought you should know. Cheers. So at the end of the email, Natalie points out, something that's a mistake with their or problem with their online ordering forms, right? And just brought that to the reader's attention. Okay, now we have 3 more items left, and these 3 are going to be, again, about that general, broader picture, and you can really answer a lot of them quite easily if you've managed to do everything that I've been telling you so far, and you've been forming this bigger picture of what's going on in your head. Number 6, Moreau is most likely. Now, Natalie's last name is Moreau, right? Just keep that in mind. Don't get confused. So Moreau is most likely, so this is a probability type question, most likely, right? So whenever they present words like this, most likely, it means the answer isn't going to be directly in the passage. It's an inference type question. You have to infer or draw a conclusion based on whatever is mentioned in the passage and whatever we've covered. So can I use the keyword method? Not really. It's a general question. It's an inference-based question. So I'm going to look at the options. Moreau is most likely A, applying to post-secondary school. Was there anything about post-secondary studies in the email? I don't recall reading anything about that. So doesn't seem right to me. B, seeking to improve her business presence. Now, why is Natalie or Moreau, why has she written this email? Well, she received a flyer in the mail and she's going to get a business card. She doesn't say, for what purpose. She just says, I need a business card. I'm on the market looking for a business card. So seeking to improve her business presence. Yeah, if someone's looking for a business card, why? What do they want to do with it? They want to improve their business presence. They want to hand out these cards to potential customers and clients and make connections. So B could be the right answer. We'll come back to it. Retiring soon from her job. Again, no evidence for this. And working for a business card manufacturer. Well, if she's working for a business card manufacturer, why would she say, I want a one-sided card, or I want, my card to be like this and that? No, doesn't make sense. So the correct answer is item B, seeking to improve her business presence. Okay, number 7. What would best describe Moreau's email? So again, a lot of the questions are, in part 1 and part 2, concern the tone, right? The language. So for example, if you've been following these tutorials, in part 1 of the same test, there was a question that asked, what was the tone of the message? It was grateful, right? Express thanks and grateful. So to be able to understand, and these questions are really easy. They're really easy to answer as long as, again, you have that big picture of what's going on firmly in place. And so what would best describe Moreau's email? Well, again, try to think of it in terms of positive or negative. She's asking for information. She's not complaining. She's not unhappy about something. She's actually kind of working with these people, trying to find the best card, right? The best option. So we want to go with something positive. Let's look at the options. Let's see which ones are positive, which ones are negative. Now, confused and annoyed, that's negative. That can't be the answer. Interested and helpful. Yeah, she does seem interested. She's getting a card and she's helpful. She's providing information. Could be. We'll come back to it. Relieved and grateful. So relieved would mean she was stressed out about something and then she found out, that, everything's okay, and she was, I'm relieved. What a relief. I don't see any evidence for that. And finally, angry and critical. That's also negative. So we know options A and D are out because those are negative. We want to go with the positive ones, right? But which is it? Interested and helpful or relieved and grateful? I don't see any evidence for relieved, and also not much for grateful because they haven't done anything, right? She's just writing an email trying to get some information. And so I think you would all agree that the correct answer is item B, interested and helpful. Number 8, Moreau probably received the flyer as which of the following? Now, Moreau received a flyer, right? This is the flyer that we can see. The diagram is the flyer, right? Now, where did Moreau receive this flyer? as which of the following. Now, again, if you go back to the first passage and read the first sentence, it says, I happened to be shopping for business cards, so I was happy to see your flyer in my inbox this morning. Okay, flyer in my inbox, email, or, probably, and an email is being written in a response, so it's probably an email, right? Let's see if we're right. Again, this was the type of question where you could guess and then check and see if what you guessed matches any of the options. So let's take a look. A misaddressed email. I don't think it was misaddressed. It never says that it was misaddressed. A reply to a specific query. So the flyer was sent in response to a request? No. She says, I happen to be. What does happen to do something? It means by chance, right? Like, I happen to be in the neighborhood. What does that mean? It means, I was just randomly in the neighborhood, right? So you're shedding light on that chance element when you use the verb happen, right? So that's out. An email advertisement. Yes, that sounds right. An email advertisement in the format of a flyer in my inbox. I saw it, and now I'm sending an email asking for more information. That's what Natalie did, right? So could be. We'll come back to it. And finally, an attachment to an electronic receipt. No, it was in the email, specifically in the inbox. So I think you would all agree that the correct answer is an email advertisement. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough tutorial. I have more videos like this. If you check the playlists on the channel, you'll find other walkthrough videos. I suggest you do the test first yourself. So try to answer the questions for yourself, and then don't wait immediately. Watch this video while the questions and the text is still fresh in your mind. This is an excellent way to prepare and to ensure that, you're getting the strategies right and you're doing everything in your power to get these answers correct, reliably and consistently on the day of your test. Anyway, good luck. Thank you for joining, and all the best.